Well, thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the new video. In today's video, I'm going to be testing and reviewing the Genmitsu L8 20-watt laser engraver, fully enclosed laser engraving machine. And for starters here, I'll just give you a quick walk around. You see the front here has all your plug-in connections, your power and your e-stop and power buttons and everything else. And as you can see here, it is all fully enclosed. Side panel, and there's the rear with the exhaust fan and the exhaust tube that comes with it. And then I'll just go around this side, and there's this side here, so you can see from all different sides of the machine when you're working and looking at it, so you don't have to build an enclosure. It's all there, ready for you, basically out of the box. So go ahead and open up the box here. Now it does come with some accessories and material. Your booklet, USB stick, wrenches for the little bit of assembly that you might need, and some engraving materials, some plywood, some wood rounds, and some cardboard sheets, a couple of little dog tags, and some aluminum business cards. Okay, now as you can see on the screen there, as it says plug, play, and engrave, that's pretty much what this machine is. Like I said, it's fully enclosed, and setup pretty much takes about 15-20 minutes. There's really not much to it. You open up the box, and pretty much everything is already put together. The only thing you really have to do is put the laser module on the X carriage there, or the Y carriage, the carriage there, and put your honeycomb panel in and plug it in. You have all these different plugs down here. You have your air plug, your air tube, the power for the air pump, and this is the power plug for the machine. This is your USB cable here that goes into your computer, and then this is the camera cable that goes from the machine into your computer also, so you can use the light burn camera there that you see on the lid. Also, you have the control to control the airflow for your air assist. As you can see there, the light there on the left hand side of the module went from red to green. And then you have your power button, your emergency stop, and then this little button here. This is where, or not a button, but this little sensor here. This will flash and beep if you're cutting something that detects a flame or heat or smoke. And then you also have your keys here. If you want to lock out the machine, you can lock out the machine, so that way your kids or somebody you don't want to play with the machine, you know, they can't use it if those keys are not in it. And again, this is the 20-watt version of the machine. They do make a 40-watt version of the machine. I'm not sure if they're shipping those out yet, but these were the only versions of the machine I think that they had at the time they sent this to me. So again, it's pretty much all in one. And again, it took me about 15-20 minutes to set up. And it pretty much comes with everything you need. Like I said, it comes with the air assist and the pump, the honeycomb panel, and the exhaust fan tube that you saw there on the back. And it does have some folding feet. I don't know if I'll be able to show those to you here real quick. As you see right down there in the corner here, these are your folding feet. So if you want to use a rotary or just some thicker material, you can go ahead and fold those up. It gives you about an extra 80 millimeters of height, and you know, for whatever you want to do that requires that extra height. It does also, you can see the flashing light here. It also has interior lighting. This light will flash when the lid is up, or if there's an or if the fault protection, the flame or the movement protection on the machine activates, this light will flash. See there, it'll go steady when the light, or when everything's ready to go. So another thing that it has that I can show you, again I'll show you here on the side, inside the machine. Another nice feature, these focus length presets here. You just spin, this is 3 millimeters, 5 millimeters, and 7 millimeters. And the booklet here will explain which height you can set it at for whether you're going to be cutting or engraving different thicknesses of material. So it just depends on the different thickness of the material that you're going to be using. And another feature here, it does have the limit switches here. The little red buttons are the limit switches for the X and Y, and then it also has one here, again, for the lid. If you open up the lid while it's moving, it will stop. And as far as the fault protections for the flame or smoke, that does actually work. I've been testing it out a little bit, and it does beep pretty loud. It's just like a smoke detector in your house. That's about how loud and annoying it is, but it's a nice safety feature to have. You know, especially if you turn your back on the machine and, you know, it could be cutting something and starts to flame up, it will stop. And, oops, I'll put this back up, but you can see here on the laser head, and this is your air assist. It will turn green when the air is running, and this is your kind of your power meter for the laser, and then this is your fire detection light there on the laser head also. So let's see some of the other specs that we have here on the machine. It'll engrave up to 40,000 millimeters per minute, and this thing is super quiet. I had this running, just doing a test card, like a light burn laser testing card for the different speeds and whatnot and power levels, and it's super quiet. It runs really smooth. You can't see the belts on the inside of the machine, but they are. The belts are in here, and it has actually. I'll show you that here. This has 4 wheels here that run on these tracks, and this is really solid, and again runs nice, smooth and quiet compared to a lot of the other machines, you know, that I've seen. So that's a good feature to have also. It runs as smooth as if you would have linear rails, so just to kind of give you an idea on how well it operates. Again, it has a flame monitor and the active position protection, limit switches, safety lock with the keys, which is good, and emergency stop and folding legs. So yeah, I don't think there's too much else as far as the specifications go. I guess I can show you here real quick. I'll pull the honeycomb out and show you the legs up, standing up, so you can kind of see what that feature looks like. Okay, so there you see I put the feet up for you to see. Again, it raises it up about another 80 millimeters according to the specifications in the booklet and on their website. So I guess you could kind of use it as like a pass-through also, if you really had a long piece that you wanted to engrave, either from side to side or front to back. You could put the legs up, and it basically acts as a pass-through. There's a better look at the legs there. So again, it's a pretty nice machine, very well put together and well built. I don't know that I missed any other features off the top of my head. Well, I think so. I think there is one here. As you can see, has this little magnetic bar that you can use to line up your work piece on the honeycomb panel. I think the working area on here is about roughly 14 inches or 15 inches by 15 inches. I'll have to look exactly to get the exact specs. Okay, well, just check the actual specs. Their cutting area is 400 by 400 millimeters. Now, one thing, now setting this up, it's not difficult at all, but there is a guide here that, I don't know if you can see that on my screen there for the computer. It's a PDF file on the USB stick, which is a Genmitsu L8 first cut guide. It basically gives you step-by-step of how to hook up the machine to your computer, because you do have to download a file in order to get this working with light burn, but it's very simple. It'll go through the camera settings there, as you can see, putting in the honeycomb, and there you can see to set the focus and what you need to, depending on whether or not you want to cut or engrave. You can see that right there. So again, plugging everything in, and then it just has some sample files on the USB stick to go ahead and get started. So again, all the instructions on how to set this up is right there on the USB stick, and then this PDF file. So it is pretty simple. Again, overall probably took me 15 minutes or so, maybe 20, just to get it unboxed and everything out of the box and put together. Like I said, the only thing you have to really do is mount the laser module there, plug in all your cables, turn it on, put the USB stick in your computer, and follow the instructions, and you'll be up and running. Now, like I said earlier, I did do a little bit of testing before I came on camera here, just to see exactly how it works. But I'll go ahead and do some more testing here for you, so you can see for yourself as far as some of the cutting power of this 20 watt module. And just honestly speaking here, this seems to be a lot more powerful than 20 watts, because some of the settings that I would use for my other 20 watt machine that I have in the background there, where you can see the hose going up, that white hose going up, that's a 20 watt machine, a different brand. And I can basically do twice the speeds cutting and engraving on this machine of what I can with the L8 than what I could with the other brand that I have there in the back. So again, this seems to be a very nice machine, and I'll go ahead and set some engraving up so you can see firsthand for yourself. Okay, well, you see on this first one it didn't quite fall out, but the second one fall out pretty easy. This is 1/4 inch plywood, so just that one little spot there, but so that turned out pretty well. That's 3/8 inch. Pretty good there. Just a little, I think the round part there just got stuck a little bit just because it was didn't drop down flat. But pretty well there for 3/8 inch. this is 1/2 inch pine. As you can see, that dropped out pretty easy. And the square one, not quite, didn't go quite all the way through the whole way around, just a couple spots there, but this for 1/2 inch pine, pretty good for 8 inches per minute at 100% power. And this is 3/4 inch pine. Okay, not quite all the way through. I did do a test earlier with 3/4 pine and it cut all the way through at 100% power and 4 inches per minute. I'm not sure what I did with that piece, but I know it did cut it. And actually I think it was this piece here. I just cut off the end of this board here, so I know it's going to depend a lot on the grain of the wood that you're using. Also, like you can see here where some of this didn't come through, you know, some of the grain is going to be affecting the cut. And realistically, I don't know how much you would want to cut 3/4 inch material with the 20-watt laser, but unless you needed just like a precision hole cutting something. Again, this is just one pass, so I'm sure if you did 2 or 3 passes you could cut through it easily, but for one pass that got almost all the way through, at least some 50% of it there. But again, I did cut this piece earlier, just going a straight line across at 4 inches a minute, and that's the same 3/4 inch, not the same board, but 3/4 inch pine. You can tell it's a little bit different. This one a little bit different grain pattern than this one here. So you know, there you go. I think it cuts pretty well. You can definitely cut at some higher speeds and some of the thinner materials, like in the 1/8 inch and the 1/4 inch materials. You can cut pretty fast with this, so I think it'll do pretty well. So I'll go ahead and I'm just going to do a quick engraving test on it here. I have this little stone here. We're going to see how well that engraves on that. So I'll set it up and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. That was at 80% power and 250 inches per minute. Nice clean engraving there on, I'm not sure if this is marble or what type of stone this is. I got this at the craft store. So there you go. Again, this is a very versatile machine, capable of engraving on many different materials. Your standard materials that you would do with an engraver, wood, acrylic. You know, if you can do the black acrylic, you can engrave with that and cut that. Aluminum business cards, dog tags. You know, if you get a rotary machine or rotary attachment, you could do tumblers and glasses and everything like that. You know, with the proper material preparation and everything. So, yeah, again, this is the Genmitsu L8 20-watt laser engraver machine. And if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. I think this is a pretty good laser engraver. I'm going to keep testing it and see what it's capable of with some different materials. Now, I don't have too much here right now to do any more today with this in this video, but you know, this is one that I'm definitely going to keep around and use on a regular basis. You could use, again, cork, wood, aluminum, pretty much any type of anodized aluminum, plywood, pine, you know, so again, very versatile laser, very well put together, good quality, and again, very powerful. I'd like to be able to see what the 40-watt version can do, but I just have the 20-watt, so I know that this works pretty well. Again, when I was doing the test grid that I got online from Lightburn, or not Lightburn, but from Etsy, I used someone else's engraving, and it was for a 20-watt laser, and I had to dial down the settings because it was burning straight through everything, even at high speeds. So I had to jack up the speeds pretty high, you know, into the 20 to 30,000 millimeter per minute with the higher power settings that someone else's test grid had on there. So definitely going to have to learn to mess with the settings on this one here to get the right combination, but I think it should be fun doing that. And again, this is like I said, a pretty well built machine, very nice machine, all enclosed. And if you're in the market for a laser engraver, I think this is one of the better values also compared to some of the other 20-watt versions out there that you would definitely spend probably 20 or 30% more. And then you would also have to buy the honeycomb panel and the air assist and all that separately. But this with this one here, everything comes with it. So a great value again, as usual with the SaneSmart brand and the Genmitsu brand. They put out very nice products, and if you do end up having to have any problems, they're very responsive and take care of you pretty well. I know every issue that I've ever had with a SaneSmart or Genmitsu product, you know, they either sent me the replacement part, pretty much no questions asked, you know, unless it was something that you know, where they weren't exactly sure what I was talking about. So again, check it out. I'll put the link in the description, and if you do have any other questions or comments, feel free to let me know. But thanks for watching.